Yeah, good evening all. So before I start, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear, whether the screen is visible or not, right? Yes. Thank you. Yeah, I've got enough confirmations, right? Fine. So yes, we had a demo session yesterday, right? Just I'll brief you what we have discussed. Just I'll take 2 minutes. So why Azure Data Engineer? A role of Azure Data Engineer. Why Azure Data Engineer? Role of Azure Data Engineer. Differences between data engineer, data scientist, and data analyst. Differences between data engineer, data scientist, data analyst. Data engineer products or services. Data engineer products or services, right? Yes. Job market of Azure data engineer. Job market of Azure data engineer, right? Yes. Right. So yesterday I was just saying that cloud is majorly utilized for storing, analyzing, and delivering the data in various forms. So if you talk about on-premises, right, we need to set up our own hardware infrastructure. On top of that, OS installation, purchasing database license, installation of database server, designing database objects. To maintain all this, we require separated teams like hardware team, operating system team, networking team, security team, database administrators. But here everything in the cloud premises. But everything in the cloud premises, right? Yes. We don't need to maintain all this. We don't need to maintain any infrastructure. We don't need to have it, we don't need to maintain any licenses. Here everything in the cloud environment, right? Yes. Data engineer with the help of cloud services. They work on the data and make it structured and useful. Data engineers responsible for smooth data flow. Data engineers responsible for smooth data flow from the source to destination. Data engineers, they are involves preparing the data, cleansing or filtering the data, right, and transforming data and processing the data. And if you talk about data scientist and data analyst, right, rather and data scientist or data analyst. Data scientist strategizes for the future. Data analyst summarizes the past. Data scientist is going to analyze the data. Right? Identify the patterns, recommendations, recommendations for the future. Data analyst summarizes the past, analyze the data, summarize the data of the past, visualizing the data, right? Yes. So here is going to analyze the data and identify the patterns and recommendations for the future. Data scientist, data analyst, summarizing the data of the past mainly. Data engineer does all the groundwork for data scientist and analyst. More than 80% of data analysis work is done by data engineers. More than 80% of data analysis work is done by data engineers. Data engineering involves what are the sources of the data, what is the format of the data, how to transform data, and what is the destination of the data. What is the destination of the data, right? Yes. Why Azure data engineer is in demand today? Why Azure data engineer is in demand today, right? Yes. So if you talk like why Azure data engineer is in demand, because so if you take any organization, if they want to increase that business revenue, the organization uses, if the organization using Azure for its operation, it mainly going to hire two people, Azure data engineer and data scientist. Data engineer, right? He creates a data warehouse for the organization where it is going to store the structured and queryable data, contains data from various sources. Data engineer structures the data, stores it, and monitors it in a data warehouse. Data engineer constantly is going to communicate with the business team and also with the data scientist when delivering the data as per the requirements. Data scientist analyzes, creates insights from the processed data. Data engineers constantly, they are going to process, analyze, and monitor the data. Role of Azure data engineer: designing entire data flow architecture, creating data warehouse for the storage of analytical data, ETL, extract, transform, and load, data monitoring, right? Data security, data monitoring and data security, collaboration and communication, analytics. They need to have strong analytics knowledge, right? Yes. Azure data engineering products or services. Azure data engineering products or services, right? Yes. Yes. Azure SQL, Azure Data Lake, Azure Synapse Analytics, Azure Data Factory, Azure Databricks, Azure Cosmos DB, Azure Streaming, Azure Key Vault. Right. These are the main data engineering products or services. Yes. Yes. Observe here. Azure SQL, it is a cloud or DBMS database of Microsoft. What is Azure SQL? The first one. It's a cloud or DBMS database of Microsoft in Azure. It is for OLTP. OLTP captures end users transactions. Yes. Azure Data Lake, some distributed file system with unlimited data storage in cloud. That is what? Data Lake. HDFS, on-premise DFS. Azure Data Lake is a cloud distributed file system. It's a repository of large varieties of structured, unstructured, and semi-structured data. Now observe, every cloud, every cloud data lake provides some benefits. Every cloud data lake provides some benefits. Unlimited data storage, supports supports all varieties of data, supports all varieties of data like structured data, like structured data, like database tables, Excel, supports all varieties of data, structured data, database tables, Excel. Secondly, like semi-structured data, semi-structured data like XML and JSON, XML and JSON, right? Yes. Unstructured data, unstructured data, right? Yes. Like images and videos. Okay, supports all varieties of data, structured, semi-structured and unstructured data, right? Yes. Supports all formats of data. .txt, .csv, .csv, .tar, tar, .txt, .csv, .tar, .zip, .gzip. In this way, supports all formats of data. .gzip. Here data in files. Here data is in files. Here data is in files means we cannot maintain relationship. Data in files. We cannot set up relationship between the files. We cannot set up relationship between the files. If data is in the form of tables, if data is in the form of tables, we can set up relationship, right? We can set up relationship, right? By using primary key or foreign key. By using primary key or foreign key, right? Yes. Data and files, we cannot set up relationship between the files. But if data is in the form of tables, we can set up relationship using primary key or, for example, emp.txt, dept.txt, attendance.txt, salaries.txt, emp.txt, dept.txt, attendance.txt, salaries.txt. Yes. Here, right. Yes. emp dot, yes. Here we cannot set up relationship between this. We cannot set up any, but if you got a tables, if I got tables like this, if I got tables like, for example, orders table, sales transactions, sales transactions, customers. I have got tables like this, products. Now I can maintain relationship. What is the relationship? What is the relationship? I can maintain some relationship here. Order of what? Order of what? Product. Order of what? Product. Booked for whom? Booked for whom? Booked for whom? A customer. Booked for whom? A customer, right? Order of what? Product. Booked for whom? A customer. Once order confirmed. Once order confirmed as a once order confirmed as a transaction. Yes. What is the relationship? Order of what? Product. Booked for whom? A customer. Once order confirmed as a transaction. So here order of what? A product. A product booked for whom? A customer. A customer, right? Once the order confirmed as a transaction, right? Yes. So I'm expecting. So I'm expecting a cloud or DBMS. So I'm expecting a cloud or DBMS that too used for data warehouse. I'm expecting a cloud or DBMS that too used for data warehouse. That too I'm expecting a parallel processing. I'm expecting a parallel processing. That is nothing but Azure Synapse Analytics. That is nothing but Azure Synapse Analytics. Next. So I'm expecting a cloud or DBMS that too used for data warehouse. That too I'm expecting parallel processing. That is nothing but Azure Synapse Analytics. Check it. Azure Synapse Analytics. This one. Azure Synapse, it's a cloud or DBMS for data warehouse, for analytics, for batch processing, for parallel processing, right? Cloud or DBMS for data warehouse, for analytics, for batch processing. Yes. So here, if I talk here, we have a database called, here we have a database called Azure Synapse SQL Pool DB. Simply we call it as Synapse DB. We have a database called Azure Synapse SQL Pool DB, that is Synapse DB. What is Synapse DB? What is Synapse DB? Cloud Data Warehouse. Cloud Data Warehouse of Azure. What is Synapse DB? Cloud Data Warehouse of Azure. When to go for data lake, when to go for Azure Synapse, when to go for data lake, and when to go for Azure Synapse. Both are in the place of data warehouse. If data is structured, if data is structured, go for Azure Synapse. If data is unstructured or semi-structured, if data is unstructured, go for data lake. Right. Next is ADF, Azure Data Factory. So in simple way, it is a cloud-based ETL. It is a cloud-based ETL of Microsoft in Azure. The cloud-based ETL of Microsoft in Azure. ADF creates data flows for data movement or transformations. For example, here OLTP systems, OLTP systems, online transactional processing, and here data warehouse. You have got OLTP systems at one side, data warehouse at the other side. So here examples of OLTP systems like Azure SQL. Azure SQL you have got like Oracle, SQL Server, MySQL, MongoDB. We have got this Azure SQL, Oracle, SQL Server, MySQL, and MongoDB, right? Yes. Here, data warehouse. Azure Data Lake, DFS, or if we talk about Azure Synapse, examples of data warehouse, Azure Synapse, the Cloud or DBMS, the Cloud or DBMS for data warehouse. Cloud or DBMS for data warehouse. Apart from this, what are the other data warehouse like? You have got like Teradata, Netija, Vertica, Teradata, Netija, Vertica. Yes. So here OLTP systems, data warehouse systems. Here Azure SQL at the OLTP data warehouse like Azure Synapse. In between where you can see this ADF. See here, ADF doesn't come in OLTP. It doesn't come in OLTP. ADF doesn't come. In data warehouse. It doesn't come in OLTP, it doesn't come in data warehouse. In between these two, you can see ADF in between these two, right? Yes. ADF acts as the integration service. ADF acts as an integration service. ADF acts as an integration service. ADF acts as an integration service. It acts as an integration service. Between OLTP systems, and data warehouse systems. ADF is an integration service between OLTP systems and data warehouse systems. It acts as an integration service between OLTP and data warehouse system. See, generally, if you talk all transactions, all transactions, all transactions are captured. All transactions are captured at OLTP systems. At OLTP systems. How to bring these transactions? How to bring these transactions? How to bring transactions into warehouse systems? How to bring these transactions into warehouse system? We have ETL. How to bring these transactions into warehouse system? We have ETL. We have ETL by using ETL tools. We have by using ETL tools like Informatica. We have got like Informatica, Data Stage, Talent, ETL tools like Informatica, Data. All these are on-premise, on-premise ETL tools. All these are on-premise. All these are on-premise ETL tools. But I need a ETL. But I need a ETL on cloud. But I need a ETL on cloud. I need a ETL on cloud. That is what? ADF. That is what? ADF, Azure Data Factory. Using ADF, we can connect with the cloud databases, non-cloud databases, non-SQL databases. We can extract data and pump the data into data lake or Synapse and then perform transformations. Once the data are reached into the table, parallel processing will happen, right? Yes. Here, here, it is ETL. Here it is ETL, but our working style is, ELT. It is ELT, extract, load, transform. Extract, load, and transform. Okay, so this is something about ADF. But if you talk about more on this ADF, Azure Data Factory. Azure Data Factory is a zero coding ETL. No coding is involved here. No coding is involved. Everything drag and drop. It looks very simple and easy. But here we are going to see versions. Here we are going to see ADF, for example, if you observe this. ADF versions and differences. ADF versions and differences. Two versions. Two versions. ADF version 1, second one ADF version 2. ADF version 1, ADF version 2. In ADF version 1, if we can say it is used to perform, it is used to perform EL only. It is used to perform EL only, but not ETL. It is used to perform EL only, but not ETL. There were no transformations. In version 1, I'm talking. Version 2, you'll see many flexibilities, right? There were no transformations. There were no inbuilt transformations. There were no inbuilt transformations. To perform transformations, some additional services are required, some additional services. Such as, so to perform transformation, some additional services required. First one, like, 1 second, just a second. Observe this, right? Yes, and what notes for this? So we have got two versions, ADF version 1, version 2. They used to perform EL only. To perform transformations in the previous versions, some additional services are required. ADLA, Azure Data Lake Analytics. We require Azure Data Lake Analytics. Previously in version 1, no inbuilt transformations, but in version 2, totally inbuilt transformations, drag and drop. Here in previous versions, here analytics done by USQL. USQL means Unified Structured Query Language. You need to have knowledge on this USQL. It is not equivalent to basic SQL. No. It is not equivalent to basic SQL, no. Secondly, to perform transformations, some additional services means like HD Insights, HD Insights like Hadoop Insights required. Hadoop Insights, right? Hadoop is a distributed computing cluster. It is a distributed computing cluster. Yes. So big data Hadoop framework in Azure cloud is called as HD Insights. Here we have a data flow language in this HD Insights. You have got a data flow language called PIG. Using this PIG, this data flows are written and transformations are performed, right? Secondly, you need to have the knowledge about HD Insights in previous ADF version. You need to have knowledge on ADLA, Azure Data Lake Analytics. You need to have knowledge on USQL. And also you should have knowledge on this Azure functions. But these Azure functions are very complex to implement. You need to have the knowledge about Azure Databricks. You need to have the knowledge about stored procedures. So to perform transformations in version 1, first thing is you should be a developer first. You should already be a developer. And that too, you should have expert in scripting. You should be expert in the scripting, with scripting, USQL scripting, pig scripting. Means for pig scripting, you should be a Hadoop developer already. Azure functions means by .NET developer. Azure Databricks means by Spark developer. Stored procedures means by SQL developer, right? Means these many things you need to have that knowledge. You need to have knowledge on this Hadoop and this Azure functions and Azure Databricks like Spark developer, stored procedures for SQL developer. This is the problem with ADF version 1, Azure Data Factory version 1. Afterwards, Microsoft recognized this problem and decided to make a ETL tool. It's recognized this problem and decided to make a ETL tool with zero coding. That is nothing but ADF version 2. So with a zero coding, that is ADF version 2. So they launched a new version called ADF version 2. Okay, here ADF version 2 is very much flexible, zero coding, all inbuilt transformations. Previously, Informatica 80% used to perform drag and drop, 20% writing SQL scripts in Informatica. But in ADF version 2 is a zero coding ETL. So in ADF version 2, we got features such as data flows, Power Query. Here we got many built-in transformations. So no need to write any code. We don't need to write any code. In ADF version 2, we define data flows. These data flows are internally converted into Databricks job and executed by Spark. In ADF version 2, we define data flows. These data flows are internally converted into Databricks job and executed by Spark. So we no need to write any Spark code or Databricks code here. Everything internally converted into Databricks job and executed. We don't need to write any code further. Yes. Understood, right? Yes. So as I said, check this. And similarly, yes. If we talk like Azure Databricks, it is a Spark-based data analytics platform for Microsoft Azure, and Azure Streaming, analyzing and processing high volumes of streaming data from multiple sources, right? Yes. Simultaneously, right? Yes. And Azure Cosmos DB, simply I can say it is a Azure cloud-based NoSQL database. Azure, right? Cloud-based NoSQL database, right? Yes. Azure Key Vault, secure key management to protect data in the cloud. secure key management to protect data in the cloud. And if we see the job market, right? Okay, before I go with this, you can just check this course content, right? In brief, in depth, we'll be discussing about this. Yes, Azure Data Factory. First, I'll be discussing about Azure Data Factory. What is Azure Data Factory? Azure Data Factory architecture, Azure Data Factory portal UI, top level concepts, pipelines, activities, linked services, data sets, triggers, data flow. Pipeline, what is a pipeline? Creating a new pipeline, organizing pipeline, debugging pipeline, publishing pipeline, right? Yes. Linked service, data sets. What is data set? Creating data sets for different types of files, Avro file, binary, CSV, Excel, JSON, ORC, Parquet, XML, blob, right? Yes. Activities, wait activity, wait variables, creating a variable, set variable, appending variable, copy data, general source sync, mapping, settings, user properties. All files from a folder, all files and folder recursively, right? Databricks notebook, Databricks notebook, and this get metadata activities, filter activity for each if condition, triggers, schedule trigger, tumbling window trigger, storage events trigger, right? Integration runtime, self-hosted link, all this, right? You can just check with this course content once. Data flows. What is data flow? What is data flow? Mapping data flow debug transformations, filter, aggregate, conditional split, even, exist, union, lookup, sort, flatten parts, validating schema, schema drift, removing duplicates rows, slowly changing dimension, SCD type 1, type 2. Nearly 50 exercises I'll be discussing in this area, right? Creating variables using set variable, how to use if condition, creating linked services. Yes, different 50 practical exercises, right? Azure Databricks. Before I go with Azure Databricks, I'll be giving knowledge on this big data and this introduction to Hadoop, introduction to Spark, this introduction to this cloud computing, and introduction to this Azure Databricks, right? Yes. Creating and this creating and managing clusters, displaying cluster, starting cluster, terminating cluster, types of cluster, Databricks pools, cluster mode. Yes. Databricks integration with this Azure Data Lake, Azure SQL database, Synapse, and handling multi-format CSV data, JSON data, Parquet files, Excel files, Databricks batch processing, historical data, incremental data, date transformations, aggregations, window functions, Databricks streaming API, streaming using PySpark API, right? Databricks Lakehouse, Delta Lake, differences between Delta Lake and Data Lake and Delta Lake, introduction to Delta Lake, features of Delta Lake, right? SD type 1, type 2, workflows in Databricks, Azure Synapse, overview of tools using Azure Synapse Analytics. So this can see Azure Synapse, this is that. So everything in brief, mainly the three products in brief, right? In the pre-products are three services in the brief. You can check with this Azure Data Factory, ADF, Azure Databricks, and also PySpark also is going to be covered as part of Azure Databricks. Azure Synapse Analytics. These four things in brief. Apart from this, you'll also be getting knowledge on this Azure SQL, Azure Data Lake, Azure Streaming, and Azure Cosmos DB. You'll be getting the knowledge on this, right? Yes. You can see as a ADF, as data engineering, right? So if you see the job market for it, so lakhs of companies are just getting shifted to this Azure side, right? They're coming more than 95% of the Fortune 500 companies are utilizing this Azure cloud services. So they're increasing this number of job opportunities for Azure data engineers constantly, right? Yes. The major companies they're trusting and adopting towards this Azure. Regularly, they need professionals who can work on Azure and big data. So even if you see the pay scales, very huge pay scales for this, especially for this data and Azure data engineers. In the same way, they'll be expecting the skills from your side, right? So everything in brief we'll be discussing, right? And what are the offerings from my side? You'll be getting the session video, soft copy of this class notes, WhatsApp group for this technical discussions, right? Assignments and tasks, interview questions. Let me, the timings of this batch, I'll make it clear, right? First 1 week, it will be at 5 p.m. After that, it will be starting at 7 p.m., right? Means first 1 week, it will be at 5 o'clock. Later, it will start at 7 o'clock. Up to the end of the course, the same timing, right? 7 to 8. Yes, any queries from your side? So before that, so tomorrow the link will be changing. You are supposed to get enrolled for getting the link to your mail IDs, right? So see that
Hello.
in the, you can check it right in this.
Hi, sir. I have one question.
One second, 1 second. So
Yeah, sure.
you can see in the chart, right? If you've got any concerns, you can see the contact details of this online team, the payment details. You can just copy and the most of you, right? If you got enrolled, don't forget to share the screenshot of your payment to the mail ID that is provided, DURGASOFT online training. So the payment details, the Google Pay details, everything they have forwarded. You can see the course content details for area of AD, right? Yes, everything they have provided, you can check it, right? Yes, now if you have got any queries, you can go with your queries. Yeah, someone was asking a query, right? Yes.
Yes. Hi, sir. Shrutika this side. So, first of all, I want to ask, is it like weekdays or weekends or like 7 days
Wait,
a week?
it's Monday to Friday. It will
Monday to Friday, yeah. And sir, secondly, I have a concern, like all the required software installation will be done in front of you, right?
Yes, yes.
Because I'm facing issue. I have tried plenty number of times, installing SQL Server Express Edition. So I'm getting the error log. I tried enabling the firewalls and all those stuffs because my SSMS is not working. The connection is not getting established. So I have wasted my more than like 15 days doing this thing. So just a bit curious, how I can get resolved,
So
at the
while
class
installing,
timing or.
so yes,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be showing you how to perform all those, right? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The installation process, you need to enable some things, right? Yes.
Okay, okay, yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, okay, perfect. So
So
I don't have to worry about it then now.
no need to worry. Everything I'll be saying step
Okay.
by step. Yeah, the thing is
Mm-hmm.
that wherever the installations, other things, right, even daily, regularly also, you can go parallelly along with me also. You can do the practicals parallel along with me. If any error, you can share the screen.
Yeah, sure. Okay, sounds
So,
good to me.
so
Mm-hmm.
people, if you're doing practicals, installations, anything, you can do parallel along with me. Seeing this, right, screen, doing parallel, even any tasks or this, all this, whatever tasks we do, right, can do parallel along with me, right? Yes.
I
Uh,
didn't get any proper solution. I mean, I have saw like thousands of videos, but then, you know, I'm not getting that resolve. Like I'm just
I'll show
uninstalling it
everything.
and then, Mm-hmm.
Mm, okay. I'll show you all
Yeah,
those
sure,
things,
no
right? Not a
problem.
problem. Not a
Oh,
problem. Right.
okay. Okay,
Fine.
okay. Thank you.
Any other queries, right? Anyone? So tomorrow onwards, we'll be starting with the things, right? We'll be starting with the area first. Later, I'll come back to this Azure Databricks, later Azure Synapse, right? So the duration of this course will be around 3 months. And if anybody wants to go parallelly, also you can go parallelly. If you doesn't want to spend like 3.5 months for this, parallelly means Azure Data Factory and Databricks come parallelly attending, right? Whenever I'm starting any Databricks any other time, you can also parallelly attend, and for otherwise you can just continue in the same timings, right? Yes.
So what will be the timing if I want to attend parallelly? Like, will it be the different link or the same link?
No, no, different link will be there. Your class timing will be at 7 p.m., right?
Yeah.
So it's starting. Recently, Databricks, just like 1 week ago, was a Databricks session at 6 p.m. It has started. In the same way, if any other timings it is started, you can attend it parallel.
Mhm.
Yeah. Otherwise, you can go ADF
Sure.
and one
Mhm.
after the other. One after the other if you
So
want. You
because
can.
mhm.
Yes, yes, yes.
Can I ask you I mean whenever there will be a batch like for us like 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. if I want to go Databricks parallelly, I have to ask link to you.
No, no, no. See, Databricks, whenever you enroll for this total
Mm.
package, Azure Data Engineering, right? So whenever
Mm-hmm.
any new batch of Azure Synapse or Azure Databricks is starting, you will be intimated.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be intimating you people, right, that there is a batch starting. If anyone wants to go parallel, you can. That's the link and everything will be shared, you know.
Yeah, sure. Sounds good to me. Yeah. Thank you.
Right. So here, mainly like Azure Databricks and also PySpark is covered, right? Yes. Azure Databricks has got a great demand today. Along if you have got knowledge on this, PySpark still adds lot of weightage, right? Azure Databricks with PySpark, right? Okay, fine. Any other queries, right? Yes, fine. Okay,
Sir, one question.
yeah,
Actually, I have in my academic career gap of the 2 years.
8 years,
2 years, 2 years.
2 years. Okay.
So it is suitable. Any problem facing?
So here is whatever experience you are going to gain from this, like a typical 4+ years of experience person, how much knowledge he is going to have, that much of knowledge you are going to gain, right, by the end of this course.
Okay. How many years?
A typical 3+ or 4+ years of person, right? How much knowledge he is, that knowledge you will be gaining, right? Because many working examples, right? Not I said nearly in ADF, we are discussing nearly 50 practical examples and also in Databricks and these things, right? That's why I said it will be 3.5 months course, right?
Okay. Okay, sir.
So is there any project, I mean, we are going to perform at the end of the course or no?
At the end of the course, I'll be showing you one flow of that project.
Okay, yeah, because at the time of interview, they will ask any hands-on
Yes, yes.
experience in project. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. What is the shortest period of time like we can complete this course? Like, if I plan to go parallelly with Databricks and the other ADF.
It takes around 2.5 months.
Okay, okay. Because I'm not in India. I'm living out of India, so I need to. It's morning over here, so I need to parallelly, go with the flow. So that's a big task for me.
Okay, okay. Like 2 months to two
Mhm.
and a half months it takes.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you for solving all this solution.
Okay, fine. Okay. So if I'm done with your queries, if there are no other queries, I'll sign off for now. Meet you tomorrow, same time at 5 o'clock. But the link will be changing. So get enrolled for getting this link. Fine. Thank you all for your time. Thank you. Meet you tomorrow.